evening and welcome to this edition of the India Development Debate. I'm Nayantara Rai coming to you from Delhi, which has witnessed its coldest December day in 119 years. If we didn't have heating and if I was allowed to, trust me, I would be wearing a scarf and gloves. Residents today have woken up to a chilly Monday morning with the maximum temperature settling at 2.6 degrees Celsius. The cold wave has also caused the air quality in the city to worsen. It's touched a hazardous 448 early this morning. And that's thanks to the accumulation of pollutants owing to the intense cold, high humidity and low wind speed. Poor visibility conditions caused by the fog have led to delays and disruptions in over 500 flights. That's right, 500 flights as well as 30 trains. According to reports, foggy conditions likely to spill over to New Year's Eve as well. The minimum temperature likely to settle at around 3 degrees Celsius. GP Sharma, the president of Meteorology and Climate Change at SkyMet, is joining us with a lowdown on the weather conditions in the national capital.
We have some data for the few stations like Amritsar, Karnal, Delhi, Jaipur, Meerut. All these places we have taken the averages for the month of December. And place like Amritsar, where the normal temperature average is about 21 degree, it's just about 15 degree in the month of December. Meerut and Karnal not far behind, they are at 17 degree against a normal of 22 degrees. And for that matter, Delhi is just about 18.5 degree against a normal of 23 degree. A drop of about 5 to 7 degree in the averages is huge. It is almost unprecedented. It is not ending anywhere soon, and it's going to remain so even in the coming days also. Coming to Delhi specific now, Delhi has many firsts so far in the month of December. The prolonged cold day, cold wave conditions, they have been prevailing. You see, the season's coldest, which Safdarjung recorded at 12.2 the other day, also Palam recorded 11.2 also. These are the record temperatures. Possibly Safdarjung was the second lowest in the history since 1901. But it's not ending there. Delhi has had the dual record of having cold wave as well as the cold day conditions on one day itself. Otherwise, both the conditions it's very difficult to see on the same day. But then the temperatures plunging below 3 degrees, 2.6 degree, 2.4 degree. It is not happened in the recent past, and obviously it's going to set fresh records to come, fresh records to be broken. And then Delhi per se is having an envelope of fog lasting for almost for the 2 weeks now. It's difficult to penetrate that. It is not allowing the temperatures to rise. Maximum temperatures, as I said, finding it difficult to reach the double digit as such. Today, this morning, first time widespread fog covering Delhi NCR, starting with Noida, Greater Noida, Faridabad, Ghaziabad, and then in any case, Delhi region had thick blanket of fog which didn't lift throughout the day. This has resulted extreme cold today. It has plunged the temperature possibly to very close to 10 degree or could be possibly even lower than that. Little silver lining now, I will say that the next few days we'll see a change. But it's not a change which is going to give you much of a relief as such. Active western disturbance is going to visit shortly on the New Year Eve itself. We will have some snow in the hills, but the plains will go for rain, thundershower, possible hailstorm activity. First, second, third could be lasting even up to fourth also, covering parts of Punjab, Haryana, Delhi, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh region. A large area is going to come under inclement weather conditions.
I'm now joined by Rajiv Kenue, the Senior Vice President at Havells, as well as Nilesh Gupta, the Managing Director of Vijay Sales, who are going to help me understand the economic impact of the cold wave. Of course, it's a given. The airports are an absolute mess. This is coming on the close heels of, the pollution crisis that we've had. Then you're still having the CA protest, and now you have this cold wave. Rajiv, Kenue, I'm going to come to you first. Yours is one business which actually maybe stands to gain from all of this kind of stuff. If there is bad air quality, you will probably sell more air purifiers. If there is a hot wave, you sell more air conditioners. If there is a cold wave, you sell more heaters.
Actually, there is an old saying that in business, summer should be very hot and winter should be very cold. Because what happens, there is a lot of, it is not only our company, most of the people build around the ecosystem around this. If you take the case of winters, it is not only company like Havells who stock these, who sell these products. You have the retailers who sell these products. Then you have lot many people who depend on the woolens and blankets. You see lot many stuff comes from Ludhiana and they stock a lot. Same happens in summers. It's not only the companies like us which are into the air conditioners or into the fans, but a lot of the people who sell the juices, shikanjis, all. So the ecosystem is not for us only. So there's an old saying, like I told you, that business, if the winter is cold, yes, a lot of people are dependent, and when it is hot, I think a lot of people are dependent, and that is good for the business. But of course, yes, not for the wronger reasons like pollution, but we as a company try to contribute something to give the good products. We'd not like that pollution to increase, and that is one of the bad reasons for which we don't want to be there. But for other businesses, for making people's lives comfortable in the winters and in the summers, I think that is what we are here for.
Nilesh Gupta, can I come to you now? I believe at Vijay Sales, and by the way, you can't talk your way out of it because I've had a personal experience as well, not just with Vijay Sales, but most big retailers. There are no heaters left. There are no oil heaters, and if they're available, they're like 25,000 rupees, 30,000 rupees.
No, actually what has happened is this year the winter has been really harsh, and due to which everything has got stocked out. So the only ones which are left are the very high-end ones which otherwise never sell. Also at those prices. So, but we are trying to stock up as much as we are able to get it. So something or the other will be available in the store. But yes, definitely there is a stock out situation.
But Nilesh Gupta, I want to ask you something else. Okay, fine. Heater sales may be going through the roof and all of that. But there's another economic cost at what all is happening in Delhi. There's another economic cost to it. When you have a cold wave, people are not really going to come out shopping, right? They want to be inside their razai, they want to be in their quilt, they don't want to come outdoors. Schools are having to perhaps delay. More people will want to leave Delhi, especially because it's holiday season. And it's coming close after the CA protest. People are not going shopping. There are massive traffic jams. This part can't be good for business, right? For either of you two gentlemen. And I'll come first to you, Nilesh, on this.
No doubt about it. Even when the pollution goes up, hits the roof, at that time also people stop coming out, and that affects the business. And as you have rightly pointed out, even now with this cold wave coming in, we have very few walk-ins coming in for the simple reason is they would want to stay indoors unless they have some important work. So even if they're coming out only to buy heaters. And then there are those who brave it out. But yes, definitely it has its downturn where the walk-ins reduce and the sales do get affected.
So Nilesh Gupta, has this Christmas season been bad overall for retailers like yourself? Because like I said, it's not just pollution. You've had CA protests. People have not been coming out of the house if they were not protesting. There have been long traffic jams. And because of the pollution and the cold wave, a lot of people who have the high disposable income and can afford it and can convince their bosses are on leave. So has this been a bad Christmas festive season for retailers like you in the national capital?
See, in the national capital also, if I'll say, last year was very bad, and we did not have any reason why it was so bad. So compared to last year, we have still seen a growth of around 15%, which is very good for our industry, and looking at the economic situation overall, which we hear about. So this Christmas has not been bad, I'll tell you. Yes, had the cold wave not been so high, then possibly it could have been still better.
Mr. Kenue, let me come to you. How has this festive season, the Christmas, New Year festive season, been for Havells? You just heard, an honest admission coming in from Nilesh Gupta of Vijay Sales.
It has been like Nilesh told you. I second that. because there has been a lot of growth primarily because of this lot of cold wave. So what happens, let me tell you the customer mindset for that. When he goes to buy a heater or a air conditioner or a cooler or a air purifier, see, this is more of a need-based impulse buying. Even if there is a cold, the people will go out. Like Nilesh told you, like people like Vijay Sales, if they have run out of the stocks, that means somebody has gone out and purchased it. So despite the fact that there are being traffic jams, etc., because the need is so high, so people have gone. And let me tell you also, in our heaters, like in oil-fed radiators, we're one of the top players in the industry. We also planned maybe 3-4x of what we sold last year, and we are virtually, we are also on the verge of having very minimal stocks or no stocks left out. So honest confession is yes, in the consumer products, whether it be water heaters or it be this heaters and it be other products, consumer products, the season, the Christmas season has been very good for us.
Rajiv, let me put it another way to you. You know, people are also less productive because of what has happened in the national capital since around Diwali time. Pollution, obviously they're falling ill. You've had the CA protests, there have been long traffic jams, and now you have this cold wave. You know, this is also impacting business activity in Delhi. Are corporates productive because the employees are not being so productive, right? The question I want to ask you is, and I'm going to ask Nilesh the same question, are you perhaps seeing higher orders coming in from corporates just to make their workplaces more efficient, you know, whether it's small things like air purifiers, heaters, you know, and you of course are going to have to pump up the ACs when the summer comes. That's the reality of climate change.
Yes, this is a reality which has come up in the last, I think, starting from the air purifier season, where a lot many corporates ask, and even the heaters, a lot many corporates, they are asking us to give us the room heaters, to give us the OFRs, and the same thing happens in the air conditioners also. So a lot many corporates, because like we come in the Havells office, we start our office at 8:30, so it is too cold in the morning. But our office is too, like it has been kept warm, though we have a centralized heating system. But in some of the corporates which don't have the centralized heating systems, like lawyers' chambers, a lot of big, I have seen many big law firms in Delhi who bought these oil filters, OFRs from us. So they are all wanting to make their offices very comfortable, and we see a lot of demand coming from the corporates in this thing, yeah.
Nilesh, are you seeing a similar trend? Because, you know, it is impacting productivity in Delhi, just the cost of doing business in Delhi. But, you know, if you're not going to have employees who are productive and are falling ill or they're distracted, it's going to impact businesses, right? And is that something that folks like you are hoping to address? And, you know, I'm sure you've also seen that maybe the walk-in customers perhaps coming in much later to your store. So you've also maybe had to work around your business model.
So in fact, this Diwali we saw a major shift in corporates where they bought air purifiers to be given to their team members for their home use, not only for the office. Offices, though, they have definitely purchased for the offices, but this time in Diwali, to a certain segment of people, they bought specifically air purifiers as a Diwali gift so that they can use at home also and they remain healthy. So there's no doubt about it. And especially we see this a lot in our retail and small and medium businesses, where people are buying the heaters and the air purifiers for their offices. So definitely it's a positive trend.
Okay, with that, gentlemen, I'd like to thank both of you for taking the time out and joining us here on this edition of the India Development Debate. As someone who lives in Delhi, and I'm sure there are many more like me who will want to pass out this message to the two of you, figure it out, get the heaters back on the market and at affordable prices without that surge price also. With that, Mr. Gupta as well as Mr. Kenue, thank you so much for joining us here on this edition of the India Development Debate, and a very happy New Year to both of you. Indian Army Chief